Hello everyone, myself Dr. Bharti from RPIIMS campus Karnal. So welcome back to our YouTube channel, that is RPIIT Academics. So in my last video we have discussed about what is cerebellum. As I told that cerebellum is a little brain. Based upon that classification we must define the functions. So today we elaborate what are the functions of cerebellum and how we assess the cerebellar pathology. As we know that if we have some injury over the cerebellum brain, so cerebellum may impact it. If the cerebellum is impacted, as I know, its function is programming and planning of some motor task or motor movements. So we must assess what are the cause behind that, and accordingly we treat the motor component where it is lacking. So we have discussed in last session that vestibulocerebellum, spinocerebellum and cerebellocerebellum, that is the phylogenetic classifications. Based upon that phylogenetic classification we must define the function. As vestibulocerebellum help to maintain the balance and the posture, cerebellocerebellum helps in programming and coordination, spinocerebellum maintain the muscle tone. So based upon that, cerebellum has different functions. So today in this session we must elaborate that what are the functions of cerebellum and how we assess the cerebellar pathology. So function of cerebellum, it helps to maintain the equilibrium, which include gait, posture, eye movement and the balance. So because if our posture is disturbed, so patient is not able to sit properly, patient is not able to stand properly. If that posture or that static posture, we can say, if the static posture is not active at that time, so patient later on that balance get impacted and patient is not able to do the active voluntary movements, and gait walking or the walking pattern become hampered. So maintenance of equilibrium, that maintenance of equilibrium is possible only when that cerebellum do an accurate action in programming. Means if our task is to hold the glass or to pick the glass from the table, so in our brain we have so many engrams. Based upon that engrams, cerebellum must prepare the brain first that how we pick that glass from the table. So proper planning, what are the distance judged by the cerebellum, what are the movement done from the initial to the ending, the termination of the movement to pick that glass and hold that glass and come back to the initial position. That all function is done by the cerebellum, that is the planning and the programming of the movement. If there is any lesion in the cerebellar part, if lesion in any region of the cerebellum, so that equilibrium get hampered. Later on balance, posture and eye movement get hampered. Because vestibular nuclei, eye coordination, posture and the balance, that all are coordinated by the vestibulocerebellum. Our next function is coordination of half automatic movements of walking, and posture maintenance. Obviously in cerebellar pathology we must have a movement that hypometria, hypermetria and the dysmetria, that is the judging of that distance from that initial to the termination of the movement. Patient has an ability to judge the accurate distance to do the motor task. If there is any lesion in the cerebellum, that distance, either patient is not able to judge the distance, like it become lack, like is hypometria, or hypermetria, it may exceed. So hypermetria or hypometria is there due to that incoordination of the movement. So that will lead to a dysmetria, that is disturbed. A patient is not able to judge the accurate distance to do the particular movement. So coordination of movement is also done by the cerebellum. And next one is adjustment of that muscle tone, which is very important topic. In every muscle into motor component we have a muscle tone. Resting muscle tone may be there, postural tone is may be there. That is the muscle tone is basically the resistance that is felt by the therapist during passive range of motion. If the tone is there, so patient can do the accurate movement. If the tone is not there, it's known as atonia or the hypertonia, less tone will be there, the limb become floppy and patient is not able to do the task. Or if the tone is increased, it may be like increased resistance that is felt by the therapist during passive range of motion. So it may be due to like hypotonia or the hypertonia. If there is hypertonia, then there is an issue of muscle flaccidity, like muscle become floppy. If we'll talk about that hypertonia, So hypertonia means increased resistance, increased tone. it will lead to either rigidity or spasticity. In that both cases, hypometria is also not good and hypermetria is also not good. So resting muscle tone will be there, and that muscle tone should be adjusted according to the movement. That is done by the part of the cerebellum. So adjustment of the part of the cerebellum, in that only out of two, that vestibulocerebellum, cerebellocerebellum and the spinocerebellum. That spinocerebellum part helps to adjust the muscle tone, which is important for every motor task. And next one is motor learning, motor skill. As I told in the previous video how that motor learning work and how that motor skills work. So based upon that, if all component, that tone is maintained by spine and cerebellum coordinated the movement by proper planning and the programming of that particular movement. So proper skill or the learning can be done by the help of cerebellum. And next important function is cognitive function, which is very important. Cognitive is the thinking, and programming is there done by the cerebellum, but cognition, awareness is done by the frontal part of the brain. That is cognitive function. Because for every motor task, for every task, we must aware that how to do that particular task. If we know that how to do that particular task, then our cerebellum prepare and plan the particular program and do the task. If there is thinking is not accurate, like we don't have any awareness about how to do that task, then programming is there, that programming is prepared with the help of the cerebellum, but with errors, because we are not thinking accurately with that particular movement. So cognitive function is only done by the part of the brain, but awareness about like proper exact thinking to do the particular task, how to do that particular task. So if we summarize that function of cerebellum, it helps to maintain equilibrium, it helps in planning and programming, it helps to coordinate the voluntary movements, because in brain we have different areas that are known as the Brodmann area, that are the part of the cortex. We will discuss over there. We will not go into detail because it is the part of the cerebral cortex where we have different motor areas, but the command that are given, that is done by the cerebellum. And then the motor area, either speech area, visual area, hearing area, that are worked when there is a proper planning done by the cerebellum. So coordination is done by the cerebellum, which are further helpful into the movement during walking or the posture maintenance. And if that posture and balance is maintained, then proper gait is there, and helps to adjustment of the muscle tone with the help of that spinocerebellum. It helps in motor learning, skills and the cognitive function as well. If there is any lack in that functioning of the cerebellum, we have different signs of dysphagia. If we may have ataxia. Ataxia is the incoordinated movement, which is like broad topic, that is incoordination. Patient is not able to do the which include dysmetria as well, because patient is not able to judge the distance, which include dyssynergia, means patient does not have proper synergy pattern to do that movement. Patient may use the mass movement, patient may use the individual movement. That disturbs synergy is there, either flexion synergy is there or extension synergy is there. Patient may have asthenia, that is generalized weakness due to that cerebellar pathology, generalized weakness. Patient may have dysarthria, articulating component of the speech become hampered. Patient may have tremors, that is oscillatory movement get hampered. Patient may have hypotonia due to the lack of muscle tone. Patient may have nystagmus, inaccurate eye movements. So there are different pathologies of the cerebellum if there is any lesion in the cerebellum. So in our next video we will discuss how to assess that pathology that I have discussed, maybe asthenia, maybe dysmetria, maybe rebound phenomena, maybe incoordination. So that are discussed, that are the symptoms or the sign of that cerebellum pathology. But in next video we will discuss how to assess that pathology, and accordingly we prepare a protocol for treating the same. So in this video we'll we'll discuss the sign and the function of the cerebellum. So that is all about for today. So in next video we'll discuss the how to assess